So today I'm building a dinner table for a client. And the table is going to be made out of hard maple for the top and 2-inch square tubing for the legs. So right here you see me start cutting the 2-inch square tubing to length. I had 10 footers and I started to cut them to size. You can see all the pieces right here, and it will make more sense as we continue to go. Now this table has a lot of angles. The base is really cool. So something I've learned is when I'm drawing angles to actually make them to scale so that I can find the right angle, transfer it to my angle finder, and then to the pieces. After I do that, I'll go back to the saw and start to cut every piece. One of the themes for this project is that I learn a ton of things, what to do and what not to do. And this idea of the legs, I started with a lot more complicated angle, like compound angles, and it wasn't making a lot of sense. And finally I decided to simplify it, and you can see the rough shape of the leg right there. Once again, following with the theme, I learned that when I want to add adjustable feet, I need to check for plumb, because right here I thought it was straight, it looked straight, but then I bumped it just a little bit, enough to be a little crooked. Now at the end of the day, it didn't affect the table because that's the whole point of the adjustable feet. But attention to detail, something that I'm trying to learn, so I'm trying to become better when it comes to building. Then I went back and I started to tack the legs. Now my welder is a pretty cheap welder, but I did welds in all 4 corners, and then I went back and tried to fill those welds as best as I could. And then grinding, a lot of grinding. Definitely not a professional welder, but trying to learn, trying to get better. Now here I'm starting to attach a couple brackets that would help me attach the base to the top of the table. Something I realized is that in this shot right here, my welding speed or my feed is too fast. That's why it looks so jumpy. Power for my welder wasn't enough. I did tested this. I kind of moved them around, and they were completely strong. So they might not look pretty, but they're strong enough for the application. Once again, we'll get better as we go. Here I'm starting to attach, I don't know, I guess it's called the apron for the table. And this will make more sense in a second, I guess. Here I center the base on the tabletop and then drill some holes to add threaded inserts. And this is so that the tabletop can be removed if it ever needs to be moved. For me to deliver, it will be a lot easier to deliver in 2 different pieces. Here's the base. You can see the shapes, bottom and top apron. And so I painted it with a black spray paint. Then we moved to make the top. This is 8/4 maple, beautiful stuff, really hard, just perfect for a tabletop. I'm starting to cut everything to length. I believe that this table was a little over 8 feet. Then went back to my joiner and got 1 straight edge. Man, I tell you this wood is heavy. It's a lot of work, but I did joint 1 edge and then went to my table saw and got another parallel straight edge. Something I realized from this shot is that my hand is extremely close to the blade. Now, when I think back, I know that I was safe. I was very aware of what I was doing, but hey, that hand was pretty close. So be careful what you use. Don't get your hand so close to the blade, because that's how accidents happen. Trying to learn better. So I went back, and the method that I'm gonna use to get the boards aligned will be dowels. I got this cheap jig at Harbor Freight, and it's pretty good. Not the best, but it works. So I marked all the boards, and I started drilling holes. A lot of holes. I'm telling you, it was a lot of holes. Then after I got everything ready, I glued up the top, and then when it was dry, I got my track saw, cut one straight edge, and then I cut the table to length. Then I went back with my belt sander and I flattened everything as much as I could with it, and then following with my ring orbit sander to, I believe, 220 grit. I spent a lot of time sanding here, the top especially. Then I apply a special walnut stain, wiping it afterwards, wiping the excess, and then a mixture of wipe and poly diluted, so I can do a lot of thin coats. I did about 5 or 6 thin coats to give it a lot of protection, a very nice thick protective finish. One of the bad memories from this project is I took my phone to deliver the table so I can take some pictures, some videos to be able to finish this video up. But then later that afternoon, after I had delivered the table, my phone broke. And so all the pictures and videos that I had, I lost. I asked the client for a few pictures, so it's not much, but hopefully you'll see the finished product. They loved it, and it was a super fun project. So thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoy, like it, subscribe. I'm gonna try to keep posting more and more. Yeah, so thank you for following along, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.